All right, I'm going to go ahead and begin. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. Today is the 2020 Hult Prize competition for UMass. So I want to congratulate all the teams that will be participating today who will be competing for a chance to represent UMass at the Hult Prize Regional Summit coming up at the end of this year. So I want to thank you all for coming tonight. I'm going to go ahead and have the Berthium Center for Entrepreneurship staff introduce themselves. We can start with Molly.
Hi, I'm Molly O'Mara. I'm Associate Director for External Relations. I manage our events, our mentors and judges and constituents, our social media, and our website. Gregory Thomas is our Executive Director, and he will be joining us in motion.
Awesome. Thank you, Molly. Carly?
Sure. Hi, I'm Carly Furcade. I'm the Program Manager for the Berthium Center. I'm lucky enough to work with Molly, Amy, and Gregory at the center running our student-facing events and programming. So it's just fantastic to meet you all, or for the students that we've been working with. Fantastic to coach you and work with you, and excited to see your pitches tonight.
And I am Jada Fawnfield. I am a senior economics major, and I am this year's Hult Prize Campus Director. So you've seen a host of emails from me about this competition, recruiting, sending you reminders about today. So that is me. I'm the face behind those emails, and I want to thank you all again for being here tonight. And I'll pass it off to Abby.
Hi, everyone. My name's Abby Carlton. I'm a senior operations and information management major, and I am the marketing coordinator. So I've really just been behind the scenes of all of the graphics and promotional things that you're seeing on Instagram and basically anywhere else that you've seen promotional stuff. So that's what that's my end of everything.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah O'Connell. I am a senior OIM major like Abby, and I'm also the logistics coordinator for Hult Prize this year. In addition, I also work for the Berthium Center as a student assistant, so you probably have seen me there as well. But for Hult Prize, I did a lot of work on the behind the scenes for Zoom, and then also you'll probably hear a lot from me after the event. You'll get feedback and things like that from me, and then I did a little bit of work behind the scenes with scoring and things like that. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for applying. Good luck to all of you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Adriana, and I'm actually a senior at UMass in the College of Information and Computer Sciences, majoring in data science. And I'm really excited to join Hult Prize this year. It's my first time joining the competition as a judges coordinator. And with that being said, I would like to move over to the judges and introduce us to tonight's judges. First up, we have Marilyn Alverio, and I'll invite Marilyn to introduce herself to all of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marilyn Alverio. I live in Connecticut. This is so exciting. What a beautiful job you all are doing. I had no idea anything about Hult until I read a little bit about it when you invited me. But I am the CEO and founder of Latinas in Power, which is an organization that focuses on inspiring, motivating, and encouraging Latinas to become leaders and advocates. I've been working on this for about 18 years now, as it started off as a side thing, and it's kind of just evolved into something big. It usually was an in-person kind of event platform. With COVID, it turned into a virtual, and now we became global and have people from all over the world that are able to tap into some of the resources and tools that we're providing for Latinas to succeed. I often kind of joke that my side hustle is my full-time job, which is in marketing, working for Mass Mutual.
Thank you so much, Marilyn, and we are very excited to have Marilyn as a judge today. With her experience in marketing and business, she will bring that perspective to us. Thank you, Marilyn. Additionally, I would like to invite Lenny Underwood to introduce himself to all of us tonight. He is our second judge.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to be here again with you to be a part of this judging competition for our scholars at UMass. Lenny Underwood, as was said, I'm the owner of Upscale Socks, which is based in Springfield, Mass, as well as I'm a full-time photographer for Underwood Photography. Been in business for 16 years as a photographer, full-time 8 years, and then this is year 4 for Upscale Socks, and we have socks for the entire family. The business started primarily because I had a dream one night that I owned a sock line. Never worked in retail before, knew nothing about the industry, and still learning a whole lot, but having a great time doing it. And so I hope for those of you who are in business and have dreams and aspirations that you keep those dreams alive, and that you keep hearing inspirational stories and stay focused and driven to achieve your goals and your aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lenny, for introducing yourselves, and we are super grateful to have your entrepreneurial perspective to our competition today. And thank you both to the judges for joining us tonight. We're super, super grateful. I'm going to kick it back to Jada to get us started for the main event.
Awesome. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, Marilyn. And thank you, Lenny, again. So I'm just going to go over some logistics. We're going to begin pitching. So I just wanted to also just explain this year's theme, Food for Good. So all of the teams will be presenting their ideas, which are related to solving the social issue around food. So that's what the teams will be pitching on today. And I'm just going to go over the 5 areas that our judges will be judging their ideas on. First thing will be the team who is presenting this idea, the idea itself, the impact that these businesses will be able to create in the world, the traction it will have, and the wow factor. So these are the 5 main areas that your ideas will be judged on, and the teams already know this, so I'm looking forward to hearing how your ideas are going to do that. And just a reminder, you have 3 minutes to pitch. Sarah will be having a timer on our end, and you guys should also have a timer on your end, just so that we're all on the same page. I'll have Sarah do like a 3, 2, 1 when she's gonna hit hers, so that you guys are on the same page. And then after, you guys will have a 5-minute Q&A with the judges. And then after that, the judges will take about a minute to a minute and a half to go through that judges sheet to score. After that, we'll take 10 minutes to deliberate with the judges, and then we'll announce the winner of the Hult Prize competition. So I hope you all are excited. And the first team that will be pitching tonight is I Am Balanced. So let's pitch, and you can go ahead and share your screen here.
So should I start?
Yep, I'll start recording when you go.
Okay. So, good evening. My name is Nupur, and I'm here to talk about our venture, I Am Balanced. Today on board, we have Ruchi Thakre, a financial analyst, Ameya Kasar from computer science, Karan Shah from industrial engineering, and myself from food science. As a food scientist, the amount of confusion faced by people regarding their diet has always intrigued me. I often have friends inclined towards fitness ask me how much protein concentrate they should consume. But the question is, does your body need concentrated nutrients? With all the information available on the internet, it is easy to be misled. Then why not follow dietary guidelines by USDA, the official government organization designated to do just that for the public? Well, the information in this 144-page document needs some scientific understanding to interpret, inculcate, and monitor in daily meals. And that is where our venture, I Am Balanced, can make life easy. A service that would compile all of this trustworthy data from USDA and translate it to personalized meal plans in form of recipes or takeout food options from local restaurants based on consumer preferences like allergies, cuisine choices, physical activity, and time availability. The mobile application or website would then generate a weekly shopping list or prompt takeout orders an hour prior to meal time from a filtered menu from local restaurants. Of course, all of this would be done based on USDA's recommended dietary allowances. At the end of each week, the user would be rewarded with a streak-based incentive in form of a local restaurant coupon on completion of, say, 60% meals as per the interface. Eventually, I Am Balanced would not just ensure the health of people, but also reduce food waste, reimagine food supply chains, encourage local population to take business initiatives, and subsequently create more jobs. Our target market would majorly be the busy working class of people and local restaurants that struggle due to fast food giants. With a forecasted market size of $5.54 trillion in the next 2 years and increased app downloads, the health and wellness industry offers a promising market for I Am Balanced, making this the perfect time to launch this service. The revenue stream would majorly be sourced from in-app subscription models, each targeting a different customer base. Since the resources required to create a beta version are almost inexpensive, the revenue generation would be directed entirely towards profits as no assets or initial investments are involved. Already existing meal plans and fitness trackers in the market host a huge user base and revenue while offering limited features compared to I Am Balanced. This data helps us quantify the potential consumer base for our service. Indirect competitors like food delivery services, meal kit providers, and fitness trackers can actually be potential collaborators of I Am Balanced. This idea can be further developed and first be applied to a small area like Amherst before scaling up. And thank you so much.
Wow.
Perfect timing. All right. We'll start. You guys can finish. You guys can stop sharing your screen, and then we'll allow the judges for the Q&A, and then Sarah will also begin the timer for that.
You want to go first, Lonnie, or? All right, you're on mute. So my question is, so it looks like it's subscription based, and then there's a weekly charge for the meals, right? Mm-hmm. So I'd imagine you do the trial thing like HelloFresh does and all of that. What is that charge? What does that cost per family or per person? Is that based on?
I can take the question.
Okay.
Hi, this is Ruchi. And so basically we are trying to do like a basic subscription model based on the user account. So the free subscription model is just based on one account that the user creates. And then the premium subscription model can be used for an entire family, which is a paid service for a $15 per month.
What's the big difference between this and HelloFresh? Like, how would you market yourself differently or uniquely?
So HelloFresh is just doing meal plans that they already have customized, and it includes a lot of fast food like quesadillas or burgers or like fried chicken and stuff like that. What we are trying to do is differentiate ourselves in the market, being specifically targeting the healthy consumer base, which is very focused on the calorie intake that they take or the protein intake that they take. And this entire thing would be based on the USDA guidelines that Nupur mentioned. So it would completely be a database that is created from the USDA guidelines, and all the meal plans would be generated based on these guidelines for that particular customer.
Nice. Question for you all. What is your strategy for reaching 10 million consumers in 10 years?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
What is your strategy for reaching 10 million consumers in 10 years?
So we are just starting. So as Nupur ended her speech with saying, we are just starting with the small city of Amherst, and we are trying to reach 10 million. We will look at the demographic, how people are reacting to it, and gradually we can grow towards bigger cities such as Boston or something, and then we can go towards the state-wise. So basically, this is just a model which we can try it in Amherst right now and see how many people are downloading the app, how many people actually want to get healthy. It is not only based on the customer base, but also it's based on how restaurants react to it. So we're going to take the data from the restaurants, how they react to it, and similarly apply the similar model to bigger cities. So growing gradually, step by step, is going to be a process. Developing a customer base all over the states, if you're going to say United States. So that's how it's going to go.
And do you have a marketing strategy to start?
Hi. So basically, we would start by marketing it since we're starting in UMass and it's the 5-college area, it's very easy to market it to different colleges in the area. And that itself is like a huge market size for something that's just starting. If it works very well in the 5-college area, we would collaborate with businesses and then market it to like the small companies and medium-sized companies in the area, like Mass Mutual. A lot of alumni from UMass go to companies like Mass Mutual, which are in the area. So it's just easier to like market it to those companies because you can say like, okay, I've used this app when I was a student. And then that just like by word of mouth, it's just easier to market in the area. And similar models can be just used in different cities, which have a good mix of college students as well as a working population. So we are basically targeting people who are in the age group of early 20s to late 30s. So that's like a good mix of students as well as a working population.
I'd like to add on that. So basically, he said we're going to market it from Amherst and stuff. So we could, as this we are focusing on, as he said, in early 20s or something. So we could start from collaborating with different universities, and that could be the marketing strategy. That's how we can advertise our product and application where people, students will be able to use. And the basic focus of the goal is to shift from unhealthy to healthy food diet. So that is basically how we're going to market this. And we could basically start from the colleges or the gyms, or we could market in those kind of places.
Thank you.
No more questions for me.
All right. We'll give the judges a minute and a half to submit their scorecards, and then we'll have the next team to present.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Farm and Grid, if you want to start getting ready and share your screen, you can do that in this time. Perfect.
All right, we'll take 30 more seconds and then we'll have Farm and Grid begin. All right, Sarah, whenever you're ready, you can instruct Farm and Grid to begin.
Okay, my name is Sarah. The number one threat to agriculture is droughts, which afflict crops and livestock at approximately a quarter of the world. So how do we combat this issue? We introduce Farming Grid, an innovation to the original irrigation system. What does it entail? Simply, it is a system that is centralized by computer and determined by a tank that collects rainwater during downpour. The aid of dispersed passive remote sensors, which rely on sunlight to determine the reflectivity of vegetation and soil. Rainwater is released at indicated intervals by the farmer and area scope marked by the sensors. In a constant environment, the feedback achieved from primary runs build upon the AI of the computer to achieve a desired continuous result. Its impact can be summarized by 4 categories. It stimulates job growth by increasing passive, non-intensive labor that carries 21st century skills that can be applied anywhere else. Furthermore, it supplies food chains year-long in places like Ethiopia, stimulates world economy through domestic and sale and trade, and promotes nutrition availability during critical times of pandemics when we need nutrients. Farming Grid is currently at its research stage, and with more traction over the months, it will be structured for application with the input of educated advisors. By July of next year, we aim to develop at least a small-scale model for commercial use. It is recognized that this venture is not exempt from finances. By approximating certain costs, manufacturing, marketing, and revenue, which we will provide the option of monthly or one-time payments, in addition to an installment based on acreage and maintenance, the total profit per year can be equated to 280 billion. This figure can exceed if reception and progress is kept. We acknowledge that our roots in aid in agriculture is not alone, yet by extensive research and comparison, Farming Grid dominates the main criteria for farmers to ensure long prosperity. It simply takes an extra step that is in the grasp of farmers and is forgiven in payment deadlines. Our team is well suited for heading the innovation of this new system. We are capable in providing reliable and detailed service given the appropriate technological insight, as well as finding common ground with the targeted audience.
All right. Sarah, you can let them know when the timer starts for the 5-minute Q&A.
Okay. Starting the timer now.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I just want to know the estimate cost to install this system.
So basically, it's more of the lower end of the spectrum of the average range for installment based on by acre. So that's basically 3,000 per acre, per quarter acre.
Okay. And about how long would it last?
It would depend because we have not developed a actual test and product. So it's still in the research phase.
What would be the scope of your research that you had listed there?
So the scope of the research would conclude the technology aspect in remote sensing, as well as input on soil, the grade of soil, nutrients that's already there, as well as individual plants.
And how would you reach folks in different parts of the world with something like this?
Primarily,
what would be your approach?
Sorry.
What would be your approach? Yeah.
Primarily, I was thinking of internet, but not everywhere in the world has access to online platforms. So the most common platform that is available would be radio.
And what would be your message?
It will be a short message about 1 minute saying, how does this venture relate to their experience in that part of the world?
So ultimately, you're looking to solve what?
Sorry, I am looking to solve how much food, how much produce is granted by extreme weathers. Say if there's a drought in Ethiopia, which would last for 5 months, and a torrential rainstorm for 1 month. So you would want to have a good amount of food for that specific span of months.
Can you tell me a little bit of how your team collaborated on this, who your team members are and how they collaborated?
Yes. So my other team member, he is also a computer engineer and also computer science. So he would give input onto my format of code and workings of the remote sensing aspect of it.
So there was 2 members of this team?
Yes. We are currently open to more members.
I think my question was, how much time would it take to install this?
It would largely depend, but if we were to install this in a small farm, we would estimate about July of next year.
In how many days or weeks or hours?
We would say at most a week for safety and testing.
And how many people are usually, would you say, are needed to properly install?
This aspect requires more members, so it's based on how large the farm is. So it largely depends on that.
Okay.
Those numbers that you put up had T's after them with trillions?
Mm-hmm.
And that was, talk to me a little bit more about that. I was a little bit confused.
So the trillions are mostly the cost of per year to install this system for almost every farm that we're going to help. And then the profit would be the total income without any difference.
So those were annual numbers?
Annual numbers.
So it's 283 trillion a year per farm?
280 billion.
No, that was the profit, right?
Yeah, sorry. 280 billion for the total, including the difference. It's not per farm, it's per...
You can finish your point, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's per audience. So 100 farms is the audience, it would be 100 farms.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a great idea.
Thank you.
It's a great idea.
All right, we'll give the judges time to enter the scorecard.
Food Chip, if you want to start getting ready and share your screen in this time, that'd be great.
Sarah, Food Ship, whenever you're ready, you can begin and Sarah will start the timer.
Heta, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Craving for home food and lazy to prepare some yourself? Well, Foodship is here to end your worries. Hi, I'm Heta Shah, one of the founders, here with my colleague Harshini to lead our team.
So I told my friends about how yummy the Indian pickle is that my grandmother makes. They all exclaimed, why don't we give a platform to such talents? We, a group of 5 friends, brainstormed all our ideas and came up with the idea of being able to deliver healthy and hygienic food from home to home. This is how Foodship came into existence. Due to COVID, many of us cannot eat our favorite food outside. But at Foodship, allergies, hygiene, and food choice will be our first priority.
So we're a platform functioning on a pre-order basis that connects foodpreneurs to home food lovers. With providing customized, pocket-friendly, fresh, healthy food for our customers, we're also offering the service of delivering food to our food fanatics at their doorsteps. An app and a website will help us to take all the orders and assemble the logistics.
With 1.2 billion people in India, we have 240 million chefs and home cooks. As we begin, our target market is going to be 3 cities, Nasik, Hyderabad, and Raipur, as we have people from the team residing in these areas. Our team will help every foodpreneur get a FSSAI registration required to start a home food business. We decided to target a small market as of now because we currently don't have the resources to reach other cities. But once we get funding, we plan to expand our services and impact many communities worldwide.
So it is now understood that Foodship has a rather fulfilling market, but then how are we going to manage such a vast operation? Well, the answer is franchises, or what we call as hubs. Through our Foodship hubs, which will be placed in different colonies in the cities, we're able to decentralize the governance. This way, we're able to maintain quality, ensure better service, and keep a solid track on all the finances.
So how is this going to work? This is going to work by having the local foodpreneurs operate under the community hubs. These community hubs will be appointed by the core team and will be earning through royalty. This way, we are also able to ensure that the hubs will be operated with utmost commitment, because more involvement equals more earning.
We have a timeline of how we're going to implement this idea in the real world. So by the first quarter of 2021, we'll start shipping in 3 cities. Yay! With the current progress, we'll be employing 10,000 people in 2 years, and with sufficient resources and funding, we'll hit the 10 million mark in no more than 10 years from now.
Now comes the tasty part. Apart from being humanitarian in our efforts, Foodship is heavily rewarding. Just by reaching 3 cities in 5 years currently planned, Foodship is able to generate a net income of $5,000 every day. This is just our profit alone.
We are Foodship. Friendship with food.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. We'll have Sarah, you can start the timer, and then we'll have Marilyn and Lenny ask questions.
Oh my God, I want some of this food. Yeah. So Foodship, the brand, how would you position? I have 2 questions. How would you position that brand to grow yourselves globally?
So Foodship is currently we start with India, and we have a majority of population who are like willing to have various types of food, like maybe continental Italian or maybe Chinese. Apart from India, there are countries like United States where there is a vast like diversity of people residing there. Suppose we can consider example of Amherst. We have Chinese population. We have people from various parts like India. We have people from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So these people will also be having like, if there is even either one person who is cooking a homemade food and want to deliver it, they can come under Foodship and make their business work in a similar way.
So then you would grow it to include other cuisines?
Yeah, we'll do that. For now, FoodShip will only be established in India, but as our market grows, we'll be making sure that, yeah.
Yeah, to add to that, our idea is based on homemade food and not necessarily Indian food or any kind of food. So any specialities like pies or anything that the person is good at making. So those will be, the seller can then register on their website, put their menu up on the website, and other people surrounding localities, they can just order it off the website. It can be any homemade specialty because it's more hygienic. So people tend to order food from home rather than getting it from outside.
Marilyn, did you have your other question, or are you?
No, they actually answered my second question, which was around, you know, how do you expand that to other cuisines? So yeah, yeah.
Will this be based on an app or other source of communication?
Okay, so it'll be based on both website and the app. So how it'll work is like how my teammates have told about the franchises, like in each community. So we'll be appointing those people. Initially, they'll be our friends, but later on, there'll be people who are just willing to earn money through their commitment, through their drive. So those people will have a backend access to the website, and they can track all the orders which are going in their locality, and same applies to every franchise around India and throughout the world, hopefully, if we expand. And in this way, we can do the same thing for the app as well, because the architecture works the same for both the platforms.
Thank you. And my other question, what are the requirements for a franchise?
For franchise, we just need people who are willing to work under FoodShip. There will be certain guidelines and certain requirements those people need to meet. And if they're willing to work and if they're able to handle everything will be through the hubs, and we'll be the core team, like we 5 people, and everything would be handled by us. There will be inspection on every level, and we have to make sure that those people fulfill all the demands of the locality and the franchise. And there will be feedbacks, there will be other options inside the app, which will make sure that we are delivering enough satisfaction to the customer.
So we basically don't need an office for the hubs to be placed. So that reduces our cost. So the people can just sit at their home and like manage hubs basically. So you don't need offices to, you know, have a hub. So yeah.
So 2 things. What would be your communication or PR strategy? And the second thing is, have you thought about a tagline, like something catchy?
So to answer your second question about your tagline, our tagline is friendship, like FoodShip, friendship with food.
Friendship with food.
Yeah. Because we all love food, right? Like we cannot.
Yeah. And for the first question, how we're going to manage all this, right? So it's basically like how we're going to communicate. Was that your question?
Right. It's communication or PR strategy. Yeah.
Right. So wait, again, do you mean with the customers or with our hubs?
For the hubs.
For the hubs. So for the hubs, it's all based on the website, because like I've told before, there's a backend access to all of us. So every transaction that happens, we can see in which colony it's going to happen. It's going to be under filters based on the colonies, based on the city. So based on that, we can see what are the hubs operating in that city. And then we will definitely have Slack channels and etc. for personal communication, quick communication or emails. But then what's going to happen on a broad level would be the website, where we can track every kind of transaction or whatever is going in and out, like any payments they're making would have to be reflected on the website. So we'll have a track on everything, like from A to B, and we'll even ask them for their identity, like, you know, maybe their passport or something like that, just in case, just to keep them accountable for their actions.
And if I have enough time, what about for the customer? Oh, that's all right. Good enough.
All right. we'll have the judges put in the score sheet now, and then we'll actually be going into a breakout room, and then we'll have the judges deliberate, and then we'll be back to share the winner after that.
All right, I think just about everyone is back. All right, so our judges are officially done deliberating. I want to give a very special thank you to Lenny and Marilyn for joining us tonight and for judging our competition. We are very, very grateful for all the teams for participating. You guys did an awesome, awesome job. We can see that you guys spent some time getting your teams together, your ideas, your pitches were great, and we're super, super grateful for everybody participating in this year's competition. So with that being said, we would like to announce this year's Hult Prize 2020 winner for the UMass competition, and that is Food Ship. So congratulations, Food Ship, for winning this year's competition. You guys completely knocked it out of the park, and the judges were super, super impressed. So congratulations, you guys.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Congratulations, Food Ship. Awesome. We will share all feedback with all teams from what the judges said, and as well as to Food Ship. We'll also give you details about next steps, and I'll be communicating with you and connecting you with Hult Prize. So congratulations again on that. So I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and definitely watching this amazing pitch competition. I know it's different being virtual, but it's definitely had the same feeling, just as close to being in person. But before we kick it off and leave for tonight, I want to give it to Gregory Thomas to share a few words and close out the evening tonight.
Thank you, Jada. Thank you, judges, and thank you for the participants, the hard work that you've put in on creating your social impact ventures and participating in what I'd call one of the best, if not the best, entrepreneurship challenge in the world. We know that it's the best social entrepreneurship challenge in the world. And know that you're participating in that, and it's got strong support from the Hult Foundation and also the Clinton Foundation, which if you go on to win, will award you $1 million. And so the effort that you're entering in today, and then the regionals and then nationals, is significant. This is the first time that it's been run by the Bethune Center volunteers, so volunteers and workers, I guess I would say. So Jada, thank you for your leadership. Sarah and Abby, thank you for the work that you've done. You've made it seamless for us. And Lenny, our perennial judge, thank you. And Marilyn, thank you for your first time joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. And we've got a judges coordinator that came in and carried some weight today. We appreciate you and your efforts with us today. Thank you all. I hope you go on to be great. Not winning the judges' reward, so to speak, today does not mean you cannot continue. Please work with Jada and the team to figure out how you can apply to regionals so that you can go on to represent UMass in your venture in the future. And then last, but definitely not least, thank you, Molly and Carly, for all the hard work you do with the Bethune Center. We appreciate you. Everyone have a wonderful Wednesday night. And I think I pass it back to you, Jada. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that works. So we can stay, I know Marilyn has to leave at 6, so we can spend about 10-15 minutes, everyone, and we could just network, connect, share anything that you guys feel, and, you know, just have a lighthearted Wednesday. You guys did amazing again. So congratulations again to Food Ship on winning, and congratulations to all the teams for participating tonight.